Here's Carlos Santos ready to get this one started. And off we go from the Steel City. Austin now to return this. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense ready to take the field for the first time. They'll be led out by their rookie quarterback, young man from the University of Colorado.
I think when you break down this game, Mike, I think it's really quite simple. I think it really comes down to the age-old, hey, be balanced on offense. Can their passing attack and rushing attack complement each other? Because what that does is it makes the defense defend the entire field. And then the number one goal of every team every week in the NFL, no self-inflicted negatives. That's tackles for loss, sacks, and then, of course, the most important one, don't turn the ball over.
And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the first down. On the handoff, this is Warren. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
You could just see the frustration on the running back's face as he's getting helped up off the ground, Mike. There was just nowhere to go from the moment he was handed the ball. Give credit to the defense. Great job.
They'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Contact up front. Did they get one of the defenders to jump?
Still 2nd down.
Here's a handoff to Warren. He'll be brought down. It was a nice pickup, but a penalty flag on the play. Early indications of a hold. Now they'll set up to throw. There's a short one caught by Freiermuth. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast, and tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey, all game long today, you better defend every blade of grass because we're coming out firing. And even though that ball falls incomplete, it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds.
Here's the Chicago offense taking the field for the first time. They're led out by the quarterback from USC, Caleb Williams.
Every team stresses it all week in practice, Mike, as they're building their scripts and they're delivering their team message. You want to start fast in the NFL. Playing from behind is a nightmare. You can't come out flat and allow the opposing team to strike first. They understand the importance. This opening drive, they feel really good about the plays they have tabled. They really feel good about the week of practice they had. Now all that has to come together, start fast, and then see if you can sustain it for 4 quarters.
Williams to throw on 2nd down. Throw right side, caught by Odunze. It's a gain of 19 in the air. 1st down, Chicago.
These are the chunk plays they thought they could get here against this pass defense. They thought the passing game favored their offense in this matchup, and I think we can expect this to be the case the rest of the game.
So from the 39, they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a first down completion of 7 yards.
The drag route is certainly not the most complicated route on the route tree, but a really nice job there using the scheme to create separation. He did a really nice job there working across the middle of the field as he made himself open.
Here's a first carry for their running back. And the D closes quickly. He stopped after a gain of a yard. Patrick Queen, the linebacker. They're on the tackle. They'll come up to 3rd and 3. They put Smythe in motion. A gain of 16 yards. Good for a Bears first down.
Each week coming into the game, every team in the league, Mike, places a huge emphasis on success on their opening drive. But the key to that is sustaining possession, converting on 3rd down. It's exactly what they were able to do here, keeping the ball on the ground.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is fortunate to get past the line of scrimmage. Call it a yard at most, with Deshaun Elliott on the tackle. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Williams. Open man, that's Devin Duvernay. That's a dozen for number 12, and he's got a first down as well.
These curl routes, he's been running these routes since he was a young kid in Pop Warner football, and I like to call it pulling the string. You've got the defender thinking you're going downfield, and you stick that foot in the ground, work back to the quarterback, friendly to the ball, and really nice job picking up the first down.
And he's brought down after a gain of 6 on 1st down.
These are the play calls, Mike, that offensive coordinators use to just get their quarterback and their passing game into some sort of rhythm. Easy pitch and catch, get the ball out of his hand, see a completion. These typically, as the game goes on, lead to bigger and bigger gains.
Thrown quickly, that's more on the RPO. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down. Can they keep this drive rolling? Here is 3rd and inches. They'll try to get this one on the ground. And he's going to be close to that first down. Looks like he made it past the yellow line. Yes, he did. It is indeed a first down.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the first down.
Williams going to look to throw it on 1st down. He gets this one to Moore.
I really like the balance that they've showed so far on this drive, Mike, and what that does is it makes the defense have to defend the entire field. The run game and the pass game, everything looks the same. There's no tells, so they can't afford to just dial up certain schemes to take away a run or a pass. They've got to defend the entire playbook, and so far they've done a great job on this drive doing just that.
Good blocking, and he's in. Caleb Williams. Touchdown, Bears. The defense comes up with the coverage, but they cannot keep up with the speed as the quarterback scrambles to the end zone for the touchdown.
And down here in the red zone, Mike, is where I think a quarterback's legs can be the most dangerous. The defenders are trying to match backs, match tight ends and receivers, but often it's the quarterback that has no one assigned to him, and in this case, he's able to capitalize and run it in himself.
Now Cairo Santos to add the point after. He's got it, and the Bears will take a 7-0 lead. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. Patterson now to return it. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Steelers offense ready to see the football for the second time. They were forced to punt the first time through. It led to a touchdown, so down 7-0 as they get the ball back for 1st and 10.
They got there in a hurry, didn't they, Mike? I mean, luckily for him, he saw that free rusher coming and at the very least was able to get that ball out to prevent the sack.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Here's a screen set up for Warren. And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win, and that's exactly what he did here.
And that one shut down pretty quickly. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, nothing more.
Depending on the situation or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman. Sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the gain to nothing.
On 2nd and 10, they'll try to throw. Oh, a lot of chances on that one. It was bouncing around, but it falls incomplete.
I think he just rushed that decision just a little bit downfield. I mean, it's one thing to trust your guy to make a play in tight coverage, but I think if he was a little bit more patient in his progression, there was an easier throw out there that wouldn't make him have to throw such a tight window ball and put his receiver in a tight spot.
And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down.
And this passing game continues to come up short these last couple plays. That's 2 consecutive incompletions in a row. Now they're staring 4th down right in the face.
And good coverage by the punt team. They stop him before he can get any return cranked up. The Bears offense ready for their second possession. They lead 7-0 thanks to the touchdown on the opening drive. So try to double up here as they begin this drive 1st and 10. They'll begin here on the ground. They converge on him quickly. He'll only get a couple with Deshaun Elliott on the tackle. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. They'll stick with him again. And he'll get this ahead. Gain of about 4. And it leads to 3rd down. To throw is Williams. That one on target to Moore. And he's going to have the 1st down. So they convert on 3rd down with a pickup of 9.
This is a great example here of just not getting too complicated as an offensive coordinator. Who's one of your best players on the field, and how do you get the ball in his hands?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give on the ground, and he will wiggle his way forward for a gain of a couple. Throwing on second down, Williams. Duvernay with the grab. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9.
I'd like to see them do a better job here the rest of the game, Mike, just disguising the coverage from the pre-snap look to the post-snap look. And what I mean is, when you have a quarterback at this level and what they see before the ball's in their hands is the exact same thing they see once they do get the ball, everything is just so much easier for them to process. Change the look, change the coverages, move your safeties. Make the quarterback have to process with the ball in his hand.
A pickup of 15 in the air. First down, Chicago.
Just seems like every year, Mike, the tight end position just continues to grow within the passing game and establishes a bigger and bigger role. And listen, I know I'm biased, but if you want to have a good passing game, you better have a good tight end.
And they'll get about 4 here as he is taken down.
It's not the big play they were hoping for, but first down efficiency, staying ahead of the chains, is what every offense is trying to find, and it brings up a manageable second down.
Here's 2nd and 6. Williams to the air once more. And that's going to be intercepted by Darius Slay. He is out of bounds, but that's a nice return. We'll give the offense the ball up past the 45-yard line.
For these young rookie quarterbacks, every snap in the NFL is an opportunity to have a lesson learned, and sometimes the lessons come a little bit harder than others. In this case, they kind of fool them with their blitz package. It's a little bit more complex at the NFL level than it is necessarily in college, and I think he just got a first-hand taste of just how fast this pressure can get on you. And sometimes when it speeds up that clock, you can make a bad throw.
1 quarter in the books. It's the Bears off to the early lead. And we're back to the Steel City after this. They'll look to throw. Complete. Metcalf with the grab. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Every defense in the league, Mike, they stress the importance of defending the middle of the field. And in this case, that's just too much room to operate. They have to find a way to close and cloudy up those windows, make the quarterback throw the ball to the sidelines. When you allow him to operate in there, especially with that much space, you're going to make for a long day.
He's able to get away for one man, but those reinforcements, they got there quick. Take him down behind the line.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning first down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
They'll stay on the ground with Warren. And he is not going to get away. Might have gotten a yard, but it will set up 3rd down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete.
And this offense just cannot get anything going right now on 3rd down. If you ask any offensive play caller throughout the entire league, Mike, the importance of 3rd down, maintaining possession, making the defense stay on the field and have long extended drives, it is critical to not only scoring points, but ultimately winning in the NFL.
He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Steelers are on the board. It's 7-3.
And I can tell you firsthand, Mike, when you find yourself trailing in a game, you don't feel very good about coming away with field goals. But in this case, it does get them a little bit closer and cut into this deficit.
This taken in at the 8-yard line. And they'll bring him down just shy of the 30-yard line. The Bears offense ready to take over once again. The lead sits at 4, so they'll try to add on to that. This drive begins with 1st and 10. He finds his tight end, that's Smythe. And they'll get about half of what they needed. It's a pickup of 5 and sets up 2nd and 5.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
And he'll get this to about the 36-yard line. Cameron Hayward, the former All-Pro, in on the tackle. Third down, 3 to go. A play fake, and they'll throw with Williams. He'll throw it left and has his running back.
When you're willing to throw the ball short of the sticks on 3rd down, you know what that tells me, Mike? The decision to go for it on 4th down has already been made. If you're able to pick it up with yards after the catch, great. But if not, it's a 4th and short, and you give yourself a realistic shot of converting on this 4th down.
And he'll get a few yards on this return up past the 15-yard line. Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. A quick throw, going to be caught by Pickens. And they're going to mark him down right at the 30-yard line.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
His throw on 1st down is going to be incomplete.
Well defended there. The quarterback's trying to attack this defense outside the numbers. Those really wide angle throws near the sideline sometimes can be very hard to defend, so give a lot of credit to this secondary. They were all on the same page, and the ball falls incomplete.
On 2nd down, Warren. Well, that looked like a pretty clear hold. The gain was 5, but let's check the call. From out of the gun, he'll throw. That's caught right side. It's Freiermuth. Third and long. A shotgun snap. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
Defense came out in a soft zone, and I think it caught the quarterback a little off guard. He was trying to attack them downfield. By the time he was able to get through his progression to his check down, he ran out of time, and that's all the pass rush needed to get into the backfield and bring him down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Fair catch is called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. The Bears offense ready to come back out for this next possession. They'll try to establish some tempo as they start this one with 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. To throw, It's Williams. Toss right side to the tight end, Komet.
Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
They'll come up here on 2nd down and 5. Handoff here, up the middle. And he's going to have a first down. Good run down inside the 45-yard line.
2nd down at these distances, Mike, you pretty much anticipate a pass. And I think that's what the defense was lined up thinking. In this case, they leave a little too much room on the ground, and the offense is able to pick up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Williams. That's to the tight end, Komet. And they bring him down, but not until they get inside the 30-yard line.
This may look like a simple connection, Mike, just pitch and catch, but I can promise you the amount of time these two guys have spent together on the practice field, in the meeting rooms, just getting on the same page, seeing the game through the same set of eyes, it makes what's pretty difficult seem a lot easier.
Throw left side, but that's going to be incomplete. He was looking to get it to DJ Moore. It's 2nd down.
A rare miss for a quarterback that we've seen really come out on fire throughout this entire contest. I mean, his completion percentage, Mike, is well above league average, and frankly, it's really the biggest reason why they find themselves out in front.
Look wide. Get this one complete. Now, a flag comes in. It was thrown by the umpire. The pickup is 4, but usually that's a holding penalty. Back to the ground after the penalty. He'll pop this ahead for about 4, but it will set up 3rd down. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down. Rome Odunze, the one he was looking for. And that'll set up 4th down.
I'd say one of the most critical elements of a dynamic offense, Mike, is how efficient are you on 3rd down. It's something these teams stress all week. Here's an opportunity to continue to extend this drive. The defense wins this time and brings up 4th down. And this is what you want. I mean, you clearly have the advantage, but you want to continue to apply pressure. Can you score every time you get the ball? They're able to do that here. They tack on 3 and extend their lead.
Cairo Santos, following the made field goal, back out to kick this one away. Patterson now to return it. And he'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Steelers offense back onto the field for their next possession. Just the lone field goal for them so far, down 10-3 in this one. And they'll start 1st and 10. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete. DK Metcalf was the intended target. And it'll lead to a 2nd down. He'll drop to throw. That pass pinballing around, and it ends up in the hands of the receiver. Wow. And he's going to take this one all the way. 73 yards. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Chris Boswell on for the point after. He gets it to go, and the Steelers will tie things up. It's now 10-10. All level at 10 as this one's kicked off. This fielded at about the 9. Man. And they will finally track him down, but not before he takes this to the other side of midfield. So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. We'll have a short field ahead as they look to break our tie. It is 1st and 10. They'll turn and hand this one off. He'll inch forward for maybe a yard. Patrick Queen, the linebacker. They're on the tackle. Here's a 2nd and 9. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. This one taken in by Odunze. Well, he's brought down. That pass is going to pick up 4 and bring up 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Williams. To the outside, a catch made by Moore. He'll get out of bounds, a gain of 8, and that's going to be good enough for a 1st down.
He's in a really nice rhythm here on 3rd down. He appears very comfortable operating out of the gun, and he's able to find his man near the sideline, and he's able to extend this drive.
Now a 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Off play action. Here's Williams. That is intercepted. Picked off by Mika Fitzpatrick.
I think you chalk this one up, Mike, to just a rookie mistake. And anytime you have a young signal caller behind center, you're going to have to deal with some of these ups and downs. Every once in a while, they're just not going to see the coverage. They're going to get baited into making a bad throw. That's kind of par for the course. The key is how fast can these rookie quarterbacks turn the page, move on, and not make the same mistake again.
The Steelers offense starting to trot out for this next possession. They'll see if they can go about breaking our tie. We're all even at 10 as this drive begins. 1st and 10. Right away, they'll set up to throw. In trouble, and down he goes.
They just have to be better on 1st down. They've got to find a way to continue to operate ahead of the sticks, and I don't mind throwing it on 1st down. That is the best down in football to attempt to pass, but if they don't protect the passer, none of it's going to matter.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Now they'll set up to throw. Metcalf left side, he's got it.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And on 3rd down, that ball incomplete.
I like the fact that they took a shot on 3rd and long, right? A lot of offenses in that situation would be a little bit more conservative playing for the 4th down punt. They're trying to pick up a big chunk play through the air, but now that you can't connect, it all but guarantees you got to punt this ball away as it brings up 4th and a mile.
And he's going to be brought down after a short return And that's where his team will get possession of the football. Out comes Caleb Williams and the rest of this Bears offense. And he's had things all his way in the first half. Those numbers are sensational. He looks to add to them with another drive here. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up second down. Williams. Nothing doing there. He'll go down behind the line. Two minutes to play here in what's been an even first half. We'll come back to the Steel City after this. Here comes 3rd and 6. A play fake. Now Williams. And this ball incomplete on 3rd down.
Pretty clear approach here, Mike. You're just trying to take advantage of the size of your tight end versus a smaller defender, and you're just saying box him out and go up for an offensive rebound and get the ball at its highest point. In this case, it falls incomplete, but if they continue to get that matchup, this quarterback's not going to shy away from giving his big tight end a shot.
And that is good coverage by the punt team as they meet him and bring him down. The home team's offense ready to see what they can do with this next possession. They'll work in a tie game here in the second quarter and get started with 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. That'll be caught by the running back, Warren. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8.
Mike, I love studying the NFL and just seeing the amount of ways NFL coordinators are able to get their running backs now involved in the passing game. They're kind of chess pieces. They can move them out in the slot. They can put them out wide, of course, out of the backfield. It's a big part of today's modern NFL.
A very quick throw there, but not on the same page with his target. That's incomplete.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
So defensively, there's always the initial pass coverage plan, and then when that breaks down and the quarterback goes into scramble mode, how fast can you then move on to the second phase and what they call plaster, meaning find the nearest receiver and almost play a man-to-man, and it's exactly what they did here, and there was nowhere for the ball to go, and he's forced to just throw it away.
A fair catch signaled, and they'll have it just outside their own 20. The visitors' offense. And their running back set to go once more. Operating from their own 23, they'll begin 1st and 10. To throw is Williams. That's complete. Commit with the catch. And he's got this up close to the 35-yard line. From the 34 now, it's 1st and 10. Now Williams. That one complete to Moore. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. That's a second charge timeout to Chicago. Clock stops with a little under a minute to go in this second quarter. They'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. Here's Williams. Duvernay with the grab. And they're going to work this down inside the 45.
And now you can see they're really getting in rhythm in this 2-minute drive. Now, after that last completion, Mike, they cross midfield. Now the mindset goes to, all right, we got to come away with some points. They've got a quarterback who's in complete control, and they got to see if they can finish this thing off.
And this will be incomplete. The big tight end, Cole Kmet, the intended receiver. And that will lead to a second down.
You know, there's a fine line between trusting your arm and having a little bit too much faith in your arm, right? I think this was one of those situations here, Mike, where there was nowhere to go with the ball. He tries to fit that one in there anyway, and he's lucky that it just falls incomplete.
That's into the hands of Olamide Zaccheaus. And it'll be taken down at the 25-yard line. Set to go now on 1st and 10. Throwing again, Williams. Quick throw, out wide, it's caught.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. Williams to the air once more. He'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
I know this play results in an incomplete pass, but I think this is a really good job by the quarterback. His clock was going off. He felt that rush. He had no immediate target to go to with the ball. Instead, throw it away. Don't take the sack. Live for another day.
3rd and short yardage, and here's Williams. And that is incomplete.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
On now, it's Cairo Santos for the field goal. It'll be a 35-yard attempt. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Bears going to take the lead. It's now 13-10.
And that's a really nice boost here before the break. I mean, you work the clock well. You're able to steal some points. The biggest thing is you're able to build a little momentum now going into the locker room at halftime.
Final moments of this first half, kicking with the lead now as this one is in the air. This kick is fielded in the end zone, but no move to bring it out. It's touchback, and that ball will come out to the 30-yard line. Here's a screen set up for Warren. He's close to a first down. It's a gain of 9. Nice pitch and catch on first down. A good spot here. 2nd and a yard. They'll look to throw. Going for it all. That's going to be incomplete. They took a shot on the final play. Prayer not answered. And that is how this first half will come to an end.
All right, Mike, we'll take it from there as we welcome everyone into our EA Sports Studios and our halftime report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. Likely going to play a big role in who wins this one. 3 points, all that separates these two sides, has half number 2. Kicks off. This one taken at the 7. Nice job on the return. He's down close to the 35-yard line. The visitors' offense and Caleb Williams set to take over once more. And he's had it going in the first half. Really had his way with the secondary. They have been powerless to stop him. Now, they'll try to keep it going. Now, Williams going to keep it himself. He's going to have a Bears first down. He's up to the 45-yard line.
So, Mike, at the core of a successful zone read play is that the quarterback understands which defender is he responsible for. That is the defender they're trying to put in a bind. In this case, he chooses the runner. The quarterback pulls the ball, and he's able to take off for a big gain.
It's first down, and they'll run. And he'll manage to get this ahead for a pickup of 5. They'll break the huddle. It's 2nd and 5. Here's Williams now to throw. That's over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Throughout this entire game, we've really seen this quarterback operate very efficiently, not only being able to spread the ball to multiple playmakers, Mike, but really complete a high percentage of his passes. So can't let that last incomplete break what's been a really nice rhythm so far.
Now, whistles here. Looks like one of the defenders got a head start.
Still 3rd down.
The penalty yardage not quite enough for a first down, so they're still looking at 3rd and inches. Throwing is Williams. He finds his tight end, that's Smythe. And he can't get away. They rally to the football on defense and bring him down for no gain.
The initial reaction is, how does this quarterback not throw the ball past the first down line to gain to try to extend this drive? And the reality is, because they've already decided they're going to go for it on 4th down.
And this one's going to land out of bounds as they'll mark it inside the 20. The home team's offense getting ready for their opening possession of this second half. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. This is intercepted. What a time for a pick 6 for the defense. As the other team is trying to get themselves right back in this one, the defense extends the margin with the pick 6.
Yeah, just a critical moment. You find yourself on defense, Mike, trying to hang on to this lead. And not only do you do that, you pick 6 them, and you're able to extend that lead.
On is Santos for the PAT. The kick is good. And the Bears will extend this 3rd quarter lead. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. Austin now to return this. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. Steelers offense headed back to take over once more. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. Quick throw on target to Pickens. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
Whatever they've talked about in the locker room at the halftime break seems to have worked. They've come out with a new established energy. You could see it when they took the field. Now this offense seems to be building on it because with that chunk play, just a little bit of rhythm that they can build off of. They got a long way to go to get back into this game, but so far off to a good start.
Contact up front. Did they get one of the defenders to jump? So a lot of options on the table now. It's 1st and 5. Now Warren. And this will be a short pickup down to the 45. Tremaine Edmonds there to make the play. They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. He'll drop to throw. There's a short one caught by Freiermuth. And it'll be a short pickup that's not enough for the 1st down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
Open man, left side, he's got it. And he's going to pick up the 1st down. He knew where that marker was and made sure he got beyond it.
So on these play calls, Mike, on 3rd and inches, typically how it goes is we're going to try to take a shot. Then there's a medium zone option. And then the last resort is just pick up the 1st down with something underneath and get that fresh set of downs. So in this case, he settles for the underneath throw, but it's still enough to pick up the 1st down. This pitch and catch may have looked routine, but I promise you, Mike, these types of anticipatory throws, especially outside the numbers, they don't occur without countless reps, oftentimes when nobody's even watching.
2nd and a yard. Here's Warren. And he'll take this one forward for about 3, and that's a 1st down. On play action, he'll set up to throw. That taken in by Connor Hayward. And he's close to another 1st down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
There's no more efficient play in the NFL, Mike, than the play action passing game. And you can see here why. You make the defense have to honor both the run and the pass, and he's able to pick up a nice gain to his tight end.
On the ground, this is Warren. And it doesn't appear that he got to that 1st down marker. They'll only give him a yard, so it'll set up 3rd down. Now, following the run, one of the offensive linemen leading the way is a bit shaken up. As the athletic training staff looks at him, we'll step away for a moment. Third and a yard. Back to throw. The pressure gets there, and down he goes. A sack.
If you want to win in this league and have a successful defense, how you perform on 3rd down is critical. Even more so, your backs are up against the wall. The offense finds themselves down in the red zone looking for 6. Those 3rd down sacks go a long way to keeping touchdowns off the board and making them settle for field goals.
Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. This one from 39 yards out. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Steelers are able to get it back within a score.
So anytime an offense comes off the field after settling for 3, you always have to take the good with the bad. In order to get down there in field goal range, you had to do something positive to move the ball. But at the same time, how are we going to be able to finish these drives and convert for 6 the next time we get down there?
Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. The Bears offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And this defense has really had their way so far, intercepting him twice, forced into a number of bad throws, and generally the D has just made it tough to operate all game long. 1st and 10. Drive will start on the ground, and he'll work this forward to the 35. That's Alex Highsmith in for the tackle. They face 2nd down and 7. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. He's going to keep it himself.
Initially, Mike, a really good job by the defense. Nowhere to go with the ball for this quarterback. He's forced to pull it down and turn into a runner. Little slow reaction, and he's able to actually pick up a pretty good gain.
They'll look to pick this up 3rd and a yard. Try to pick this one up on the ground. And he's going to have a Bears 1st down. At least it would appear that way. Didn't get it by much, but yes, they do give him the conversion on 3rd and 1.
Really just the same approach that an offense would take on a quarterback sneak, Mike. You don't necessarily have to spring them for a huge gain. Can you buy just enough space up front to pick up 1 yard? That's exactly what they did, and pick up the 1st down.
And he'll get about 8 on that one, most of it coming after the catch. It's 2nd down. To throw, it's Williams. And they're going to get to him and take him down, taken back to the other side of midfield.
Nice job bouncing back there on 2nd down. 1st down, they gave up way too many yards and put them in 2nd and short. But now they can gain some of that back with that sack and brings up 3rd and medium, and the likelihood of getting off the field just went up.
He's got a man. That's DJ Moore. It's a gain of 12 there. Good for a Bears 1st down.
Every quarterback's dream is, can I get the ball out of my hand as fast as possible and get it to a guy that can do the rest after the catch? And it seems like nowadays throughout the entire league, the best offenses thrive in yards after the catch.
It's a 3 tight end look as they have it 1st and 10. A handoff as they try to run it here. He is met and dropped. A couple of yards behind the line of scrimmage, too.
Sometimes you run all those big bodies out there, you kind of tip your hand. I always love going big jumbo personnel for a play action. In this case, they keep the ball on the ground. The defense knew it was coming, and they suffer a loss.
Gets it away quickly, and it's caught. And he's going to be dropped after a pickup of about 5.
We hear the term RPO so often, Mike, and it continues to kind of trickle its way into the NFL. But remember, it's a lot different in the NFL than it is in the college game where it's a lot more prevalent. The lineman cannot go downfield, so that quarterback has to make a lot of really fast snapshot decisions, or else it's going to lead to a penalty or him holding on to the ball too long. So it's something that teams want to implement, but maybe not quite to the level that we see in the college game.
It's a gain of 29, and it's 1st and goal.
What a luxury that certain teams, when they have a guy like this, I mean, not only is he the big target, but then to have that size and speed to run away from these linebackers and do so much of his damage after the catch.
On the bootleg, it's Williams. Nowhere to get away, and he's going to go down.
Now, after taking that loss on the sack, it changes your entire approach offensively. You go from playing for 6 to now everything is just about coming away with points.
first down was not very good. Here's 2nd and goal. From the gun, here's a handoff. And he'll be taken down, but now a long way to go on 3rd and goal. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. They'll be forced to just throw that one away. It's incomplete.
Got to give a lot of credit here to the coverage unit, Mike. There was plenty of time for the quarterback to work through his progression. I thought the protection was actually pretty solid. But at the end of it, there was just nowhere to go, and he had no choice but to just throw that ball away.
On now, it's Cairo Santos for the field goal. This will be a 38-yard attempt. 3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Bears will extend their lead.
So it's not exactly what you're looking for when you set out on a drive, but at the same time, you don't want to come away empty-handed either. So in this case, they'll take those 3 points.
Cairo Santos, following the made field goal, back out to kick this one away. Patterson now to return it. He'll get this up to the 28-yard line. Nice place for the drive to start. The Steelers offense getting those helmets back on, ready to head out for their next possession. And look, they've been out of sorts throughout, Greg. They haven't had any answer for this pass rush all game.
Yeah, and it's really showing up in the sacks and also just in their ability to prevent any yards, any completions. This has just been a dominant pass defense performance here, and everything starts with the rush. The quarterback
trying to avoid tacklers there, but the ball is out. And this is taken in by the defense.
Something these running back coaches preach all the time, Mike, is you can't sacrifice the ball for additional yardage, and I think we had a case of that going here. I love the effort. I love the fight, but it can't come at the expense of the ball. Everything in football is about protecting the ball itself, and in this case, just a little bit too loose with it. They're able to pop it loose, and that's a big turnover.
They'll come up here, 1st and 10. Williams. Toward the middle of the field that time, but incomplete.
There was no hesitation from the quarterback. From the jump, he knew where he wanted to go with that ball, but still leads to an incompletion. They're just still not quite on the same page.
They'll try again here, 2nd and 10. Blown back in the backfield. He'll get the carry here. And it'll be a pickup of 3. So 3rd down forthcoming. On 3rd down, it's Williams from the gun. He's got it at the 7. And he's in. DJ Moore. Touchdown, Chicago.
Mike, we used to have a saying that it was the responsibility of the receiver to run the route through the eyes of the quarterback. And I think this is a great example here. 2 guys clearly on the same page. Quarterback expected his target to be in a certain place at a certain time. He's there. Ball's delivered accurately. He's able to pick up the rest with his legs, and that's a big-time connection for the touchdown.
Santos for the extra point. He's got it. And the Bears tack on 1 more to their lead. So here's Santos after the touchdown. He's out to kick this one off. Patterson now to return it. A good return as he takes it across the 30. The home team's offense and their running back, Jalen Warren, set to take over once more. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. Metcalf, left side. He's got it. And he's going to get this one out to the 43-yard line.
Anytime you're facing a zone defense, you're working from your first progression all the way through. But when guys are open in this level, Mike, they don't stay open very long. So what they taught us as receivers, if you're open, stay open. And if you're not open, you better get open quick because that ball is coming out.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is 1st down and 10. Now they'll set up to throw. That's complete. It's Metcalf. And he's taken down inside the opponent's 35.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
Here's a handoff to Warren. The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. Second and 7. Once again, it's Warren. The defense stringing him out. No gain back to the original line of scrimmage.
Running back looked a little unsure of himself on that carry there, Mike. You have to think back to that fumble earlier in the game. How much is that still weighing on his mind? He didn't really seem to attack that hole like we've seen in the past. He gets stopped for no gain.
On 3rd down, they go with Warren. He's looking for room on the edge, but could not find any. They track him down behind the line, and it's 4th down.
Just feels like this has been the story of the day for this offense. Just unable to get anything going on the ground, and a big reason they find themselves trailing, and another loss of yards.
Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. This one from 47 yards out. 3 for 3 in the game, as this one is also good. And the Steelers are back within 2 scores.
And when you find yourself down double digits, you don't want to make habit of settling for these field goals. It does allow them to chip away a little bit and cut into this deficit, but they've got to find a way to score touchdowns.
Back out is Boswell following the field goal. He'll send this one away. Very good kickoff. Returnable from the 4. And a decent return there. He'll get this up just shy of the 30. The Bears offense and DJ Moore heading back onto the field. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early. Boy, did that pay great dividends to this point. Throwing on 1st down, it's Williams. Over the middle, that's Komet. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
When you put plays like this on tape, it sends a message to every defender across the league. When you play this offense and this guy has the ball, you better bring it when you come to contact him, because if not, you're going to be on the wrong end of it.
They'll go play action here with Williams. He'll send this one deep for Odunze. And the Steelers are going to take possession here at their own 33.
This is something we see so often out of these young quarterbacks, Mike, is their inability to manipulate the defense. They kind of telegraph where they're going to go with their ball, with their eyes. And I'd love to see him the next time when he gets to the top of his drop, look off the safety, hold some of the underneath defenders from where you ultimately know you want to go with the ball. A lot of that just comes with experience, and Sometimes you got to gain that experience the hard way.
Here comes the Pittsburgh offense now, heading back onto the field. They trail by 2 touchdowns, so the time is now. Got to get that rally going. It starts with 1st and 10. He was looking for George Pickens there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think that's one of those cases where he just tried to put a little bit too much on it and fit it into that window, Mike, and sails it high. Give his guy a chance to bring that one down. Put that ball on his chest and help him secure that catch. At this level, when you're that open, that ball has to be completed.
Got a man over the middle. It's Pickens. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
It's been tough sledding for this offense all day today, Mike, but especially here in the second half. So they are just in desperate need of a spark. Just something to get their offense into a little bit of a rhythm if they want to have any chance to find themselves back into this game here late.
On the handoff, this is Warren. And he'll get forward for a couple. It's 2nd down. From the 50, he'll set up to throw. He'll get about 6 before he's taken down.
So the hope is when you call these underneath drag routes, you're trying to have your tight end come out the backside of the defense in space. So when you put the ball on him early, it leads to big yards after the catch. In this case, they don't get the real big play they were hoping for, but they'll definitely take it.
Now, on 3rd and 2, they'll try and throw for it. Second time they've hooked up on this drive. This one good for 12 and a 1st down.
Okay, so now you pick up that 1st down, Mike, but now there needs to be a sense of urgency. You know you need to score twice. So this one, ideally for the offense, results in a touchdown. But either way, this first score of the 2 needed needs to be fast because you need every possession you can here late in the 4th quarter.
He'll look to throw. It's into the hands of Pickens once again. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
And that ball in and out of his hands. It is incomplete. Might tell you after the game he should have come up with that one. He doesn't, and now 3rd down comes up.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
Here comes Chris Boswell to try a field goal. And this will be from 42 yards out. Another one through the uprights. He's 4 for 4 on the game. And the Steelers will cut into that lead. Back out is Boswell following the field goal. He'll send this one away. A safe kick taken at the 5. Oh, he's got room past the 30. They finally get him down, but he gets all the way up close to the 40-yard line. LeBear's offense make their way out to take over once more. They built a nice lead for themselves here. They'll try to add to that, beginning with 1st down. And this ball's going to be incomplete.
And this game almost just flipped completely on his head. You find yourself with a lead, just trying to milk the clock away in the 4th quarter, and that's a gift. I mean, that defender just flat out drops the ball, and if he's able to secure that takeaway, this game looks very different for this offense.
Off-balance throw. It's complete. He's over 100 receiving yards on the afternoon now, and a first down to boot.
An interesting decision there by the play caller to put this ball in the air. Mike, you're up by 2 scores. Traditional wisdom says, hey, we're up by 2 scores late in the fourth quarter. We've got to keep this clock moving. You don't want to risk an incompletion. Now, they convert. They're able to secure the catch and pick up a fresh set of downs. That's going to enable them to continue to burn more clock. And without a stop, their opponent's not going to get the ball back. When you air it out like that on these big shots downfield, they're not always high percentage plays. It takes a lot of things to line up timing-wise, location of the field, accuracy of the throw to result in those big plays. But I think they've got to continue to search for those and try to generate a little bit of a spark.
He'll manage only about 3, so it will bring up third down. From the shotgun, it's Williams. And that is incomplete. Juan Thornhill that time. Good coverage, able to knock it away.
I think he predetermined that third down throw, and even though the coverage was tight, he still tried to fit the ball in there anyway, and it ended up falling incomplete. I think if he goes through his progressions and has a little bit more trust in his protection, I think there's an easier throw to make out there.
And no chance to down this one. It carries deep into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers' offense getting things in order as they trot out for this next possession. The deficit is double digits, so work to do as they begin this drive with 1st and 10. Back to throw here to begin the drive. That's over the middle and taken in by Freiermuth. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. They send Freiermuth, the tight end, in motion. A run up the middle with Warren. And he'll be close to a first down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short. They don't need much. It is 3rd and inches. They'll try and run it here with Warren. He will have a Steelers first down. Maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Nothing real fancy about this call here, Mike, right? In this 3rd and short, just get the ball to your running back, make sure he has enough space to pick up the first down, and they're able to convert.
They'll look to throw. Oh, and a short throw there, but it's going to end up incomplete. That's a pass he'll say he should have had. Instead, he does not, and it brings up 2nd down.
He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
Back to the air once more on 2nd down. Ooh. A gain there of 11. That's a Steeler first down.
Things certainly look a little improbable right now, Mike, but I wouldn't say impossible. I think they've got to capitalize on this possession to pick up some points. Every single possession right now is priceless. Points, possessions, and then they got to get some defensive stops.
He's got a man. It's Metcalf. And they're going to get this ball down to the 20-yard line.
If you want to score points at a high level in the NFL, you have to generate explosive plays. And After that big chunk pass play, they find themselves now down there in the red zone, and this is where you have to finish drives.
So they come to the line for first down and 10. They'll run straight ahead with Warren. And not much there. He's back to the original line. No gain on that one.
You want to see linebackers play downhill, Mike, meaning there's not a lot of side-to-side pursuit. They're attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking the ball carrier. That's exactly what we saw out of this guy here. He's able to make the stop at the line of scrimmage and keep it to no gain.
That is caught at the 3. And he will score. Game on. Pat Fryermuth. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Greg, they are pecking away at this one now. Very big touchdown. Gets them right within reach of pulling this comeback off.
Well, Mike, at the very least, they've given themselves a chance, but can they get a stop and get the ball back again for a chance to go down and really make this one interesting?
Important one here now for the Steelers. They're going to try to go for the 2-point conversion. He'll drop to throw. That's caught. So they get the 2-point conversion. And all of a sudden, that 11-point deficit down to just a field goal here in the 4th. So they've cut into the lead, now just a field goal behind as they kick it off. He fields it at the 8. And he'll work this one past the 25 to right about the 28-yard line. The Bears offense and their quarterback headed out for their next possession. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been successful. He just processes things so quickly, making the right read seemingly every time.
At this stage in the 4th quarter, great job by the defense understanding exactly what the offense is trying to do. They're trying to bleed the clock, shorten the game. They completely sold out to stop the run, able to take them down for a loss.
Lost one on the last play, so now it's 2nd and 11. They'll stick with him again. And he'll only manage to pick up 3 yards. And that leads to 3rd down. So 2 minutes left to play in the 2nd half. Greg and I back for the conclusion in a moment. This crowd into it now as we get to 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Toss right side to the tight end, Komet.
And now it's decision time, Mike. And I'll tell you, this is why coaches get paid the big bucks. The question comes down to, do you trust your offense to put this game away and come up with a 1st down? Or do you pump the ball back and say, okay, defense, let's not give him any good field position? It's a big decision right here. I can't wait to see what he does.
Here's Austin to return. And he'll get something there on the return, able to take this back to the 20-yard line. The Steelers offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we take you through some of the highlights so far, you're going to see a lot of passing yards. He has carved up this defense over 300 yards passing in the game and has been sharp right from the start. They'll come up for 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Quick hitting slant there. And they'll bring him down, but not until he gets to the 38-yard line.
All right, this is a good start. Plays like these are definitely going to help as you work your way into scoring range. While you have to be wary of the clock and keep an eye on it, they should have plenty of time here to finish this drive.
Plenty of time, all 3 timeouts left. It's 1st and 10. And that ball incomplete.
Defense got lucky on that one. There's no one accounting for the running back out of the backfield as they should have, and fortunately for them, he bails him out by not securing the catch.
They'll come up now for 2nd down. Back to throw. Metcalf with the grab. And he will score. DK Metcalf. Touchdown Steelers. Boswell now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Steelers have taken a 4-point advantage. So now playing with the lead after that 4th quarter touchdown. Time to kick it back the other way. They're trying to pin him deep. They'll take this from the 3. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. So out comes the Chicago offense as they get set to take over once more. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. Operating from the shotgun, it's Williams. A throw left side, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This is one of those situations that plays directly into the hands of the defense because think, like, they know this offense has to be one-dimensional. This has to be a pass. So what do? They bring in extra defensive backs. They clog up the back end. And at the end of the day, there's just nowhere for the offense to go with the ball.
They'll run. And he's going to be very close to a 1st down. That's a good run there. Maybe just a couple of feet short. Towels waving. Steeler fans on their feet. It's 3rd down. Working out of the gun, here's Williams. That one on target to Moore. And he will have the 1st down. The drive will continue after a pickup of 8. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And he's going to be brought down inside the 15.
And this offense is now really on the move, Mike, and it's the passing game that's leading the way. They've been able to march their way downfield thanks to this aerial attack, so don't expect them to go to the ground game anytime soon. If I'm this play caller, I'm continuing to lead on this, not only in this drive, but probably for the rest of this game.
This offense still has the 1 timeout to use. 1st and 10 coming up now. The Bears go ahead, take their 3rd and final timeout. They stop it with 14 seconds to go in the game. Now, 2nd and 4. Williams to the air once more. And this is a touchdown. They were not going to be denied, and they have taken the lead here in the final minute of play.
Just an absolute clinic of putting together a drive, Mike, when you need it the most. And their ability to move the ball down the field, it worked the clock perfectly. They come away with that late touchdown, and more than likely, barring something crazy, a victory as well.
An important extra point up and good, so the lead is 3 here in the late stages of the game. Down to the final few seconds of this one as the kick is away. And no chance to return this one through the end zone for a touchback. Right away, they'll set up to throw. That'll be caught by the running back, Warren. And a timeout comes. The whistle blows with 3 seconds remaining on the clock. Now, on 2nd and long. Here we go. One final play. Here's a ball thrown deep right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. The defense holds here in the final minute. And they're going to get out of here with a victory. So this one, a win for the visiting Bears. This was a game where both offenses were up and down the field, marching the ball at will, matching each other point for point. But in the end, they got a few more defensive stops than their opponents did, and that was the difference in this one. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. So long, everybody.